back live, huh?
Yeah, so sorry that we had to delete the previous stream because there were some technical issues, and I hope we all can hear us now. If you're joining us at this point in time, Bangladesh continue the fight 176 for 3. India picked 3 wickets, but 2 of the shots that were played were poor shots by them, and one was a very good delivery by Akshar Patel to get rid of one of the set batsmen in the team. So Bangladesh need a further 337 runs to seek an unlikely win still, but they have batted out 2 out of the 6 sessions which they have. So if they can hold on, then they can drag this test match into the 5th day as well. So Rahul's back after playing an epic match. And
What epic match.
well, you all fought till the very end, didn't you?
No. We didn't. Anyways, but yeah.
You
pretty-
fought like the Bangladesh team, hanging in there.
No. Bangladesh, they are way better than us. Anyways, but yeah, you were also discussing this yesterday, day before yesterday, that this particular wicket in Chittagong or
Chattogram.
So Chattogram basically is the new name for Chittagong. Earlier
Yes.
they used to call it Chittagong, and because a lot of people may must be wondering why some people call it Chittagong and some people call it
Chattogram.
Chattogram. So it is just like Chennai and Madras. And
Kolkata, Calcutta.
Calcutta and this thing. So, but anyway, so this wicket, as you were also discussing yesterday or the other day, that the wicket tends to get better.
Yep. It's now a proper feather bed. No pace, no bounce, hardly any spin. If you
Exactly.
can get an extra skill to do it, because look, only one guy got bowled, and that was Akshar Patel getting the ball to just straighten, and the batsman's stumps were rattled. Liton Das played a very bad shot because he was under immense pressure from Kuldeep Yadav. He could not read his spin,
Exactly.
which way it was going, whether it was coming in, whether it was going away, and when the ball went away, he played a very rash shot, and to his unlucky thing, he found the only fielder stationed at long on. But Ravichandran Ashwin has really struggled on this wicket because he's not able to get the right lengths. The left-handers are able to play him very, very well. And I think it's a worrying sign that Ashwin's not been able to be penetrative on this kind of a wicket. Whereas in the past, he has managed to do brilliant feats on this wicket.
And also, I was a bit surprised that a bowler who had picked 5 wickets in the last innings bowled way too less overs compared to your other spinners, Ashwin and Akshar Patel. I think Akshar and Ashwin were introduced before Kuldeep Yadav.
Yes.
See, yesterday Kuldeep bowled just 1 over, by the way.
Yep.
Just 1 over. Today also, now that he's just started to bowl a few more overs, in fact, from one end it is Kuldeep, from the other it is Ashwin. But if you look at the number of overs that both those spinners have bowled, so, it's a bit surprising to me. To be very honest, it's I don't know what the rationale or the logic is, but they've shown more faith in Ashwin and Akshar Patel than Kuldeep Yadav, who picked a 5-wicket haul in the last innings.
And if you have to look at the field settings also, for Kuldeep, it was spread out. But for the other bowlers, especially Siraj and Ashwin, it was, yes. In the morning session, Kuldeep's field was spread out a lot more. But for Siraj and Ashwin, it was much more attacking. Now, what is the rationale behind? And again, KL Rahul was guilty in the first session that he just let the game drift away. There wasn't any attacking in. There was a slip in place, but there was no silly point. There was no short leg. Some of the fielders, most of them were within the circle, but then he just allowed the singles and the fours to be had.
For none of the spinners.
Except for Ashwin and Akshar. But for Kuldeep, he just spread the field. That was very, very surprising. And I thought, why is he doing that? Because you're defending 513, not defending 313. That you had to have a very mixed field for most of the bowlers. And remember, Kuldeep came later on. Why was he allowed to come much later when the pitch was still good to bowl on? I mean, you had a lot of grip, turn, but after the first hour, everything vanished.
And And whatever little I saw, managed to see, I think Kuldeep was asking questions,
Yes.
especially to Litton Das. In fact, in that over in which he got Litton Das dismissed,
Yep.
or I think in the previous over, I remember that shot when he wanted to, he actually went for a swing towards
Yes.
the onside, and the ball just ballooned, took an outside edge and just ballooned over the
Yeah.
slip fielder.
Yep.
So he was creating chances. He was asking questions. To me, it is surprising, and also to know that when Siddharth told me that for him, for Kuldeep Yadav, it was a spread out field. So it's pretty surprising. But yes, now see, the score still looks better than what it was maybe 2 hours ago.
At least they got
Bangladesh
3 wickets,
are
176 for 3.
176 for 3. At one stage, I think they were 120 odd runs
Yes,
for no
no
loss.
loss.
So that's and actually if you
Only
see,
58 runs were scored in this session.
so that it could have been a dropped catch had Rishabh not taken the
Oh, yes.
after it got deflected.
It
or
ballooned off
ricocheted.
Kohli, and luckily Pant took that catch. Kind of that Flintoff Jones moment in 2005 Ashes. Remember, Flintoff just got it off his ankle, but Jones took the catch, and that's how it was.
In fact, Abhijit is there, sitting right behind us. Abhijit can also, in fact, was a witness today. One more batsman was dismissed in the same fashion.
Oh
and
my
it happened
goodness.
to be me.
Oh, so you had a, you may say, Nazmul Hussain Shanto moment.
Yeah.
Oh man!
absolutely.
So people ask why you're wearing the cap. when you're
Because
indoors.
because I came here after playing a game, and if I remove this cap, I don't have, I haven't combed my hair, so it's better that.
Yep. So that is the situation. Bangladesh have batted well for the first 2 sessions. But yet again, as we saw, 1 wicket can lead to a couple of wickets as well. And 2 bad shots. I mean, I may say with the case of Shanto, it was kind of unlucky. But if you have to look at the other batsmen, and remember, there is a big development from the Bangladesh camp that Shakib Al Hasan and Ibadat Hussain might miss the second test in Mirpur. And according to Mehdi Hassan, Shakib Al Hasan was apparently forced to play the Chattogram test despite suffering rib and shoulder injuries. And Ibadat Hussain could not bowl in the second innings because he had a side strain. So these are big development. Can you force a player to play a particular format? Because it has been reported that the BCB chief Nazmul Hassan was in talks with Shakib, like, okay, he had suffered that injury, but you are playing the test match. With Bangladesh not even in contention, why would you want to risk your star player missing a match? And now there are reports that Shakib will not play in Mirpur, where he's got a better record.
In fact, even before the start of this game, he was a doubtful starter.
Yep.
Shakib Al Hasan. In fact, I was till on the eve of the match actually. I thought that he may not play, but I was surprised when he came out for the toss and that he made himself available, or whether he was forced to make himself available. So that was surprising. But not enforcing the follow on. I was just wondering, in case they would have been say 176 for 1. I'm sure questions would have been asked.
Yes,
I'm sure.
I'm sure about
You
that.
can
also.
still ask the questions. That's one thing. But now looking back, looking at a lot of things, I think KL Rahul was a little defensive.
So if you say, if India win by say a margin of 200 runs, would
Which
you
they-
call it a commanding win, or do you think it was a very hard fought win?
No, you'll have to say, because see, from day one, the match was always in India's grip.
Yep.
It's not. I'm not. See, eventually you'll have a comprehensive win. The only point here is that you could have finished this match in say about 3 to 4 days.
Yes.
But now, in fact, this match could have gotten over yesterday itself. But now the situation is that Bangladesh next test match, at times, they will also have confidence that they don't have, they have bowlers, but we are no mugs with the bat.
Pushovers, yeah.
So we can, if we apply ourselves, we can counter their bowling, the Indian bowling. So you have boosted their confidence a bit for that Mirpur test, and Mirpur in Bangladesh, in Mirpur is pretty okay. It's not
Yes.
as bad as you will see them elsewhere. So that's one thing. So and the tactics, Kuldeep picked a 5 wicket haul. You didn't give him too much to bowl.
Yeah.
And then
71 overs, only 11 overs in that.
Yeah.
And when Kuldeep is supposed to be your X factor because of the left arm wrist spin variation. So it's really, really a big problem. You say Nikhil is now saying, we'll take some questions. Give some time to Dravid. Indian cricket team have only gone down. Same bowlers were taking 20 wickets match, but what happened to them suddenly? Rahul, for you, this question is. Indian bowlers, but what is Dravid's fault in that?
No. See, I agree with what you are saying, but see, you will have to have somebody accountable for what is happening. See, Rahul Dravid, when he joined this Indian team as the head coach, people had high expectations from him. And when he took over, if I can say, the Indian team was going through a transition. When I say transition right at the top.
Yes.
Virat Kohli was on his way out as the Indian skipper. You had Rohit Sharma taking over as captain in all three formats. So you had high expectations. Now, what do we have in return? Rahul Dravid went with the Indian team to South Africa. You were 1-0 ahead. Then you lost the Test series. Then you lost the ODI series. Then you had what else did you play in between? So then you went
played
for
Sri
the
Lanka.
no Sri Lanka. I'm saying the important assignments if you see
Asia
under Rahul.
Cup.
So there was one Test match
England.
against England. You could have won that series, but eventually you lost that Test match despite posting a target of close to 378 against England. You lost that Test match. Then Asia Cup, you didn't even make it to the final. Then in the World Cup also, in the T20 World Cup, you underperformed. So, Nikhil, I agree with you. Questions will be asked of Rahul Dravid, and rightly so. So, and as far as bowlers are concerned, see, your bowlers are injured right now. But yes, bowlers, primarily your fast bowlers, when you went overseas, they were one of the primary reasons why you did so well overseas in the last few years.
And there was one more stat pointed earlier in the day that in the last 3 matches, if you had to look at it, South Africa, Newlands and Johannesburg, even in Edgbaston, Indian bowlers in the 4th innings, they have conceded 250 plus and are in danger here in Chattogram of doing the same thing. Is that a worrying trend heading forward? Because you are going to play 4 tests, although at home against Australia. But
there you will have your spinners back in action. I don't know the kind of wickets, because if you're seriously eyeing that World Test Championship final spot, then you will provide them with those minefields or dust bowls. But if you lose the toss, then it may backfire.
Like how it happened in Pune 2017. So 382 runs for 3 wickets, and you are saying we should have enforced follow-on this pitch. Is it Giant Slayer?
Yeah, at times, you need to send a message. I understand there's nothing wrong with not enforcing the follow-on, but at times you can send a message. For KL Rahul, it was pretty okay. He never said that we will do something like this, but he did mention the word aggressive. And if you have to show your aggression, you have to walk the talk at least. I'm not saying that going after the bowling or playing attacking cricket is some form of aggression. Aggression could be anything. Aggression could be your field setting. Aggression could be how you use your bowlers. But I thought KL Rahul was a little defensive. And mindset also. Enforce the follower, and that this wicket tends to get better with time. So you should have backed yourself. Maybe you were not ready to play, bat 4th in this test match. You were not ready, despite the fact that you knew that historically this wicket tends to get better on 4th
as the
and
game
5th,
progresses.
on the 4th and 5th day.
So, what are your thoughts on the Gabba? Well, it's been a brilliant day at the Gabba.
Travis.
15 wickets have fallen. South Africa all out for 152. Mitchell Stark and Nathan Lyon taking 3 wickets apiece. Kyle Verreynne scoring a 50. But Travis Head playing baseball like cricket. 78 of the finest runs that he's ever scored. Steve Smith had that partnership of 100 plus. But Andrich not here towards the stumps end. Oh man, what a brilliant ball. Got the ball
145 for 5.
Yep.
Travis
Trailing
Head
by 7 runs, and Travis Head scoring over half of them. And Nortje got a peach of a delivery to get rid of Steve Smith, was looking good. Good length, jacked back in a long way off the seam and crashed into Steve Smith's defenses. And Smudge was gone for 38. But hostile spell, Warner gone for a golden duck, and that's how it is. And I'm worrying, and my mind is continuously shattering with the thoughts of what happened in South Africa and England. And what do you think? Kuldeep hasn't bowled more overs and Ashwin is bowling overs. Nikhil, yes, you've got every right to be worried that yes, 3 matches in South Africa and England, you couldn't defend a total in excess of 250 plus. In the case of England, you couldn't even defend 350 plus. But here, see, the Bangladeshi batters applied themselves, unlike the first innings. So you know that the pitch is getting better. And it's like, yeah, Mike Pokhriyal in the first session bowling changes were like it's a T20 match. Exactly. I just don't understand why there was no set plan in place. Why couldn't you have bowled Kuldeep more, who looked much more menacing? And why couldn't you at least get Siraj more overs in? I mean, yeah, Siraj had a couple of short deliveries that shot up. But why did you spread the field out for Kuldeep? That is the one. In the first innings, you had short legs, silly point, you had 2 slips. You just had 1 slip and then you spread the field out. Why? I guess that is one of the things KL Rahul will have to answer in that way. And yep, in the first session I've taken that. And any other thing, I think no more. We have said about our thoughts on the GABA. There's also Pakistan-England happening in Karachi. So we will be covering all that, plus in addition to the FIFA World Cup 2022. We are going to build up to that. So join us for the stumps break for the India versus Bangladesh test match. And let us hope that India can be in a great position. If they take the remaining 7 wickets, awesome. Otherwise, we are heading into day 5. What do you think? Are we heading into day 5?
You see, you never know, but I would expect them to get rid of these 7 remaining Bangladeshi batsmen, although it's going to be difficult.
It will be difficult. So thank you for that. And Rahul Bhai, what was the result of it? Mike Pokhriyal request?
We lost.
Okay.
We lost the quarterfinal game.
Yep.
Knockout.
Yeah.
We choked once again.
You choked. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.